Online dating. Everybody hates it, but yet it's the most popular way couples meet these days, at least according to the companies that own these apps. But also, these apps are rampant with scams, bots, and bad actors that try to take advantage of all the users that are on there. Today, we're reacting to something very weird is happening on Tinder by Christoph. I think I've heard of this. This is a weird situation. I don't even know if they found out why, but it is fun to speculate on and figure out what's going on and kind of understand what's happening on Tinder right now. But yeah, I just wanted to watch this today. Wanted to see what was going on and what is so weird on Tinder. So let's get going.
Something strange is happening on the world's biggest dating app. Let me show you. Same guy, same guy, same guy, same guy, same guy. What is that? Here's another one. And another one. This all began when my friend started sending me weird profiles he kept coming across. Over and over, he'd see profiles that looked relatively normal. Normal interests, normal bios, and normal photos until the very last one. The last photo was always a little strange. A face that didn't match the rest of the profile.
It definitely does feel like they're trying to circumvent the photo verification system. They have all the other, because this is what some people do is they make a fake account, they verify it with their own face. Once they get the verification badge, they'll take off all the photos that they verified with, and they put on the photos that they want to scam people with. So I think this is somewhat of a same situation where it looks like it's the same face of the person that's trying to scam, but it is edited enough so that you would think, oh, it doesn't matter. It is weird how Danielle and Paul have the same photo, and all of them look AI edited. It's super weird, super strange, but yeah, definitely does look sketchy.
Often poorly edited into another image or illustration. And my friend wasn't alone. I went digging and I only found one Reddit post and one Instagram reel about this, but the comment section was full of people who had seen these profiles too.
And it's mostly ladies too. I don't think I've seen it on the guy side. It's ladies seeing it for guys, but I've never seen it as a guy with the ladies. They usually, if it's scammy, you could tell by like if they really want you to get on Snapchat, if they're very overly enthusiastic and they want to get your information like right away, or the pictures look off and they just look very low resolution. That's another thing. Or it's like the same photo. It's like literally the same photo from the same shoot. You're like, okay, what's going on here? But these are all guys, so it's mostly ladies seeing them. I don't know, maybe other guys, but this is all ladies replying. They're everywhere and verified.
You keep clicking through and then it's just like a drawing, some random photo that doesn't make any sense.
Times Square with like the NASDAQ thing, an anime drawing of an Asian guy, a bobblehead drawing of like an Asian guy with a soccer ball.
The random line drawing, the random old master painting.
When this started happening, I was like, no one is gonna believe me that this is a thing.
So why do so many accounts on Tinder have a final photo that looks like this?
I feel like you could match with them and ask them, right? Wouldn't that be the easiest way, just to match and see what's up? Maybe they do. Maybe they do investigate it that way.
I have not been on dating apps in a long time.
Good for
so
you.
When I first saw this, I felt a little bit out of the loop, and I wondered if maybe this was just some kind of reference that I don't get, some kind of in-group signal that I am just not aware of. And I quickly learned I wasn't the only one who thought that.
It first started with a weird photo of like a billboard with an Asian man and a lamppost that obviously had nothing to do with the rest of the profile of the person it was attached to. And then I kept seeing it pop up over and over and over again.
Same photo each time.
Same photo. Yes, the same photo.
Wow.
When I saw it again, it's like maybe this is some sort of like club's not the right word for it, but maybe it's like a signal. Like, oh, this if you see someone with this last photo, it means something. But like I'm not hip enough to know what this like, last photo
That's so
means. It's like,
innocent.
is that some sort of signal, some sort of like weird sex thing? Like, what does it mean? And it's also always like stereotypically like hot European looking like model guys, right?
Right. That's what I was about to say. I'm like, all these guys look incredibly handsome. I'm like, dude, this is like fucking Giga Chad guys. And then the last photo is this, so that's just obviously means some sketchy things going on.
Could this final photo be signaling something to other people on Tinder? Something that Stephanie and I just weren't in the know about.
在我正后方的这一幅衣博的超大的
A reverse image search reveals that this is Chinese actor Wang Yibo in an ad for a mini shaver. But take a closer look and you can notice something strange. His face has been altered, sometimes altered in different ways. And as I found more examples, they all had that in common. The face from the original image had been replaced, and the original images came from all over the internet. A 19th century portrait posted to Instagram, a poster for a Korean Shakespeare production, a collection of albums by a German singer.
That's a hard
billboard
poster. That's a hard poster. Can we go back to that?
All over the internet. A 19th century portrait posted to Instagram, a poster for a Korean Shakespeare production, a collection of albums by a German singer, a memorial billboard for a businessman in Ghana, and an optical illusion painting by a Ukrainian artist. If these images were indeed a secret signal or a reference to something, I would expect them to have something in common, but they were random from all corners of the internet. The only thing that they seemed to have in common was how they were manipulated. Okay. Over the course of researching and reporting and filming these videos, I'm drinking a lot of coffee. I love coffee. Of the flavor coffee, frozen beast, and flavor/Christoph, or to the link in the description and get $30 off your first order. Okay, let's get back to the
$30
strange
off your
final
first
photos
order, guys.
taking over Tinder.
But then you get that photo, and it's like, what is that?
Yeah, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Like, is that Bach?
That's funny. I don't think that's Bach.
As I kept talking to people who had seen these profiles, I heard more theories. Maybe it was all bots.
That's kind of what I'm leaning. It's either bots or people using bots to like just have all these crazy profiles, and then you try to extract money from your victims. You know, you just kind of get them in the loop. Oh, I need some money. Let's invest in Bitcoin or whatever. Let's invest in AI, and then boom, you're extracting money from unbeknownst victims.
Part of it makes me think that they are just like bots created by the app itself to increase engagement. The apps only really work if you pay. So they just paint like this fantasy picture to keep you engaged and to keep you spending that $40 or more a month. Even though AI...
I mean, I feel like it's like a yes and no, because it wouldn't serve them well to keep doing this, because then you would just feel burned. So in order for them to provide value, they really need to give you something to chew on, right? So it could be this is a tactic that I've seen used on some apps. You sign up, you get like immediately a lot of likes. You're like, oh, what's going on? And then you buy the package and you realize, oh, these are all everybody from like the Philippines. And to me, it seems like there's a group of people in Philippines whose their job is to like swipe on everybody in America just to get their numbers up, right? Or there's more incentive to swipe on people in America just to kind of get that interaction up. So I feel like it could be bots, but it's more likely like a real engagement also mixed in there. But I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't do well to just have a whole platform full of bots, because then you would just bleed users, right? I mean, there already are bleeding users, Hinge and Tinder and all that. I don't know. If it's just strictly bots, it feels to me that this is obviously a fake account, but there is definitely like humans controlling them.
is really good, it's not that great. So there being a random portrait of a Austrian empress thrown in some guy's profile. It's kind of just like-
Also. I'm trying to figure out if this picture, the middle picture, matches the right picture. I guess, yeah, because the tattoo is the same, but it is, I guess, because it's also a selfie camera. Okay. I was a little skeptical. I'm like, oh, the pictures don't match, but the tattoos do match. Tomas, tattoos do match, so interesting.
Not that great. So there being a random portrait of a Austrian empress thrown in some guy's profile, it's kind of just like, this is AI just like failing.
So you think these profiles are kind of being generated automatically to sort of boost numbers on the platform, but in the process of making those new profiles, they kind of mess some things up?
Yes, I think that is part of it. They hook you in by posting a photo of a guy that's too good to be true because he's not true.
Ronald's theory had a lot going on. Could these be AI generated profiles created by Tinder to boost engagement, but with a recurring AI malfunction that left a random photo at the very end of the profile?
The photo is too specific to be random to me. It's always an AI generated face on it. It's always slightly AI generated and slightly AI is edited with AI. So I don't know. These guys, the rest of the photos definitely seems like either stolen or the other photos are also AI generated, but it's gotta be a good one because they all kind of look the same. But this last one, I think it's because they're trying to get over the verification thing, and I don't know. They might have to leave it up so they obfuscate that last picture, hoping people wouldn't go through them, or if they go through them, be like, haha, that's just a funny picture my friend sent me. I put it on my profile, like ha. Even though if they take it off, they'll lose the verification badge. Does that make sense? That's kind of where my mind is going.
With more reverse image searches, I figured out that these were real people, but not who the profiles claim to be. This isn't
That's kind of what I was
Morris in the
saying.
New York area. It's Andrea, a dentist based in Rome. This isn't Daniel, it's Augusto, a tax lawyer in Brasilia, Brazil. And this isn't Robbie, it's Ümit, a content creator in Izmir, Turkey. So the profiles were clearly impersonating other real people. They weren't AI. But who's behind that impersonation?
What is going on your Tinder?
As I talked to more people who had actually matched with profiles like these, I learned that they typically wanted to move the conversation over to WhatsApp.
That's another. This, if you're in Europe, it might be different, and it probably is. But in America, people very rarely use WhatsApp, and you would only use WhatsApp with people you know already. Like you're friends with, you met them, and they're more comfortable talking on WhatsApp because their whole family is there and all that, and most of their friends are, and then you would get WhatsApp for them. But more often than not, it's just texting. It's just straight up like texting. So in America specifically, if somebody asks you to move the conversation to WhatsApp, it's usually a telltale sign of like, hey, no, this is not right. Yeah, like something's fishy going on here, because over, I don't know what, something about over a regular text message they can't do because they're not located in America. But it's easier to spoof that if they're on WhatsApp. That's where my head is.
After a lot of sentimental banter, they would eventually try to talk to you about cryptocurrency.
See,
and if you asked them
I told
about
you.
the final image on their profile, they would get kind of weird and maybe even block you. And now, an account on a dating app trying to move
That's
the conversation
ominous
over to
right
WhatsApp.
there. Whoa, what the fuck can we say? Hold up.
Image on their profile, they would get kind of weird.
Is that a problem for you? Haha, no, just weird. Okay, be careful. Curiosity killed the cat. LOL. Dude. Yeah, sure. I'm definitely gonna trust you after you send me that shit, dog. Like, come on.
And maybe even block you. And now, an account on a dating app trying to move the conversation over to WhatsApp and then steering that conversation towards cryptocurrency. These are all telltale signs of a romance scam,
Yes,
where
sir.
criminals use a fake online identity to gain a victim's trust and affection before manipulating or stealing from them. If you want to learn more, the very first video on this channel is a deep dive into this phenomenon. According to the FBI, in 2024, approximately 59,000 people fell victim to romance.
Also, another name for these is a pig butchering, where you feed the pig, you make it fat. Pig, in this case, is the victim. You make them fall in love with you. You kind of build this whole story around it, and then you slowly, over time, drain them financially.
Related scams in the US, losing over $672 million.
Crazy. And it's always the most vulnerable people that they just so lost in life. They just have nothing going on. And anybody that talks to them is more than welcome to, be around them and kind of be able to influence them. And then they use that relationship to kind of lock them down and keep them away from the rest of their support system, so that then you can drain them financially slowly over time.
Of Southeast Asia, where the scammers are victims themselves, recruited by predatory tactics and forced to work brutal labor inside fortified compounds. As I kept looking into this,
I think they did that in Myanmar.
Similarities
They
across
found
all
like a
of these
whole
profiles.
compound in
They
Myanmar.
were always men, always in their late 30s or early 40s, always looking for a long-term relationship. And I realized kind of late into this whole process, they always had this icon. What is that?
Bots and scammers, beware. Tinder has a new feature that helps make sure your next crush is the real deal.
The dating app is rolling out a facial verification feature. It's called Face Check.
Tinder certainly hopes that it's the end of catfishing and scams on their platform.
In October 2025, Tinder rolled out a new feature for US users, Face Check, where you can take a short video selfie within the app to confirm that you match the face in your profile photos. As part of the announcement, Tinder released a compilation of songs from the point of view of heartbroken bots.
Got dumped by Tinder's Face Check. Tinder's Face Check.
Face check. Face check.
Tinder's Face Check said I wasn't human enough.
Bro, I swear to God, Tinder is the worst at marketing, dog. This is everything they do sucks ass, dog. They had that last year when it was like the height of chatbots, and chatbots were going crazy. They had like a whole system where you could just role play being on a date, and it was just like the most ridiculous thing. And it was so obviously ChatGPT, and it's like every bot you would role play with is like obviously, and no date has ever gone the way these bots are claiming it to be. Dude, yeah, they suck, bro. These apps suck. It's just crazy to me how they were first to market, and then they just lock down the market shares so bad, and then every competitor they just buy out. Hinge came out, bought them out. Every other app they just buy them out, and Bumble just broke away from Tinder just to kind of be different, and then they just fucking fall into their own fucking pit of despair. Oh man, it's so bad. It's like a wasteland out there, dog.
Well, now I'll never find love.
Face Check is a form of what's called liveness detection. That means that it's not just checking to see that your face matches the one in the photos, but also checking for movement to prove that you're actually there and that your selfie video hasn't been digitally altered. It also estimates your age and checks whether your likeness is being used by any other profile. The software behind Face Check was created by a company called FaceTech, a facial recognition security company whose clients include various financial services all over the world and the US Department of Homeland Security. According to Tinder's press release, users get a blue photo verified badge if the scanned face matches a profile photo. Bingo. A profile photo. Not all profile photos, not some profile photos, just a profile photo.
I
What if
told
these profiles
ya.
were created by someone pretending to be someone else, and this manipulated final photo was their actual face? It's obscured and hidden at the very end, but just identifiable enough to pass Face Check, since Face Check only needed one profile photo out of 9 to match. On many platforms, a verified badge reassures other people that you are who you say you are. On Tinder, you can even change your settings so that only verified users can send you messages. So bad actors trying to scam or catfish people benefit from having that badge. They'll be seen by more people, and those people will be more likely to trust them.
And I think the reason they go for women is it's easier to keep talking to them because women are not in a rush to meet you, or you can some are. I'm not trying to generalize, but usually more often than not, if you're a guy, you're trying to meet up sooner to see, hey, is this going anywhere? Does this have any potential, or whatever you're looking for? You're trying to get it done sooner rather than later, just so you know that, just so you know where you're going in life. But with women, you can kind of slowly talk to them and kind of keep everything slowly moving on, and kind of keep giving it a slow burn. So I think that's kind of, and also you can build romance over text, which for guys it's a lot harder, because at some point I feel like as a guy you just wouldn't respond to that type of stuff. Be like, oh, what, something happened over there. I think it was my cat. My cat had an accident. I think as a guy you would just, at some point it would just stop working for you. Now obviously there's some guys that fall prey to it, and it's usually older people or people who are like super lonely. But if you're just like, your mental health is slightly regulated and you have just an okay life, I feel like you wouldn't get caught in this scam as a guy, or it would be harder for you to get caught in the scam. Match with someone, talk to them long enough on WhatsApp, send them money for Bitcoin, and wait for it to get the investment get bigger, right? It's just like a long way. It's easier for them to talk to women and kind of build that relationship slowly, versus a guy where maybe they're more impatient. Guys are way more impatient. They kind of want to get it going.
That was my hypothesis. If that was true, it would mean Tinder Face Check kind of sucks.
Does he try it?
That a scammer can convincingly pretend to be someone else, not with any sophisticated technique, but by slipping in a photo that looks like this at the very end of their profile.
I mean, the thing is, like, this is kind of, I have no idea, like, really what's going on here. So, like,
I called up Walter Scher to run my hypothesis by him. Walter is a professor of engineering and the author of A History of Fake Things on the Internet, and he studies the reliability and security of facial verification.
But I sort of am skeptical that, you just need a single photo to match for this to... But it is possible, right? It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on how you would reverse engineer this, where I, download Tinder and put a bunch of maybe like
yeah
photos
do that.
of what looks like
That's
the
what I'm
same
wondering.
person?
Exactly. Yeah, just perform your own experiment and see if you can still use the profile, right? Like, I think that's clearly what I would do as a first step. And then if that works, you kind of have a hint that the face verification is extremely weak. And this probably is a romance scam.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, dude.
I downloaded Tinder and created a profile imitating the strange profiles we'd seen. I generated AI images of a man in his early 40s and generated an image with my face in the style of this final photo.
If he just waited until a couple days ago to make this video, he could have used GPT image too. That would have helped him so much more. Generated generated much better pictures than what he's got going on right now. But hey, it is what it is.
I look like a hobbit.
You look fine,
I uploaded
homie.
my fake profile photos and my manipulated real one, and then came the moment of truth.
I'm ready.
The photo verification test. As it processed my results, I waited. I went out for lunch, and by the time I came back, I had an update.
You don't even need to wait for lunch.
My profile.
You don't even need to wait for lunch, brother. I think it takes like 2 minutes for it to go through, dude.
Was verified.
Okay, the experiment worked. Here's CJ, 31 years old. Boom.
I can't believe this worked immediately. I was genuinely expecting this to get flagged, or for it to not work, or for it to have to take a few tries, but it worked immediately. There we go. It's official. This one photo got my profile verified. If I deleted that photo, I would lose my verified badge on the entire profile. But I wanted to see just how far I could push it. So I kept creating more images of myself to see just how many would pass face check and get me a verified badge.
I tried AI face swaps and messy Photoshop jobs. Create an image, take face
That's
check,
a good one.
and wait. Over and over.
Do they not flag you for abusing the system? I guess not.
And every single one got me verified. So, mystery solved. You can get a photo verified account on Tinder while pretending to be someone completely different simply by including one image that kind of looks like you. That's why these profiles look like this. I ran the same experiment on Hinge. Hinge is owned by the same parent company as Tinder and also uses face tech for facial verification. And the result was the same. A single matching image resulted in an entire verified profile. Hinge did appear to have a higher threshold, so it would reject some of the images that Tinder verified. A FaceTech representative told me that difference could be because Hinge is setting its profile pic matching to a higher sensitivity level than Tinder. Then I ran the same experiment on Bumble. On Bumble, only one image passed the verification test. It was this one. And after verification, every photo that didn't match my face was automatically deleted.
They get deleted,
So props to Bumble for actually being kind of secure. I reached out to Tinder to let them know what I'd found, but
they
as
don't
of
give a
publishing
fuck.
this video, I haven't heard back.
They just want to extract money from you. They don't give a fuck.
Requires one profile photo to match your face in order to get a verified badge. I understand why they might not want to require that every photo pass face check. You might want to include a photo where your face isn't visible or a meme that shows off your personality. But right now, you can create a verified profile using 8 photos of people who are not you and just one that is. And that undermines what this badge is supposed to signal. One possible fix would be giving each photo its own verification marker so that users could see which images actually match the verified face. Maybe that's a UX nightmare, but it would make what is currently an easily exploitable system significantly harder to game.
They implement these tools that are supposed to be like, this, we're keeping you safe, we're helping you make sure that like what's really happening is happening. But now we can't even trust that. If I can't trust that like the verification process is working, then I can't trust any of it, really.
Dating apps are a very weird and vulnerable little corner of a very big internet.
I mean, she's 100% right. She's 100% on the money. And especially when they ask you to like, pay us to have a better experience and all that. You already proven you can't even keep data secure and keep profile integrity up when you're a free user. What will be the difference of me paying? You know, it would just make things worse, and it would just put more money in your pocket. It's but I don't think there's definitely, because especially Match Group, because they hold the market, they have no incentive to change. And unless there is a better way for people to meet, and unless there is a more ubiquitous way for people to kind of get together, they would not try to change at all. They would implement the minimum change that would cost the least amount of money, just so they can keep that revenue and profits generating.
But across that internet, facial verification tools like this one and other tools that use our biometric data are becoming more and more common. And they come with a big promise that if we hand over deeply personal information about our bodies, we'll get something valuable in return, a system where everyone is who they say they are. But that promise only means something if we can agree on what this technology actually guarantees. Because if we're stuck with an internet where you have to prove who you are without being able to trust that anyone else actually has, that sounds like a bad deal. Hey, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you to our friend Christoph. That was actually fun. That was a fun watch. I'm not gonna lie. It was like a little detective story thing, and it just sucks that at the end of it, it's like, yeah, it's a crypto scam. I wish it was like a better payoff. I wish it was like a little bit more of an interesting payoff than a crypto scam. But hey, man, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys use dating apps? Which ones you use? What else you guys want me to talk about? What else you guys want me to watch and react? Make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Radio out.